Hey, welcome to the podcast. Before we get into it today, I just want to talk about our sponsors. This is brought to you by Local Menace Apparel. Now, we first came across these guys at Four Chord Music Festival last year, and honestly, they're right up our street, completely involved in the same scene as us. Local Menace is an independent punk and alternative clothing brand, doing things their own way, no corporate nonsense, just quality gear made for people who actually care about our scene. Whether you're heading to a show or you're just repping the culture day to day, they've got you covered. Head over to localmenace.com. That's localmenace.com. Head to their store and you can use our discount code, which will get you 25% off. The code is WASTETIME. That's WASTETIME. That's localmenace.com. Link will also be in our show notes. All right, let's get into it.
Hello, welcome to the Wasting Time podcast. This is a Jimmy Eat World special, and I'm here with Chris, who was fresh off his Jimmy Eat World experience.
That's true. Yeah, so we have a very special episode today that is all centered around Jimmy Eat World and the anniversary of Bleed American, which is an important record for so many of us. And as Nick says, I had the pleasure of going to their Crystal Palace show last night to watch them perform it in its entirety. And it was, quite the occasion. Firstly, I want to thank Doorbell, who hooked us up, who've been really good to us recently. Stacy and Joe, thank you so much. And it was great to meet you guys yesterday. So, I guess, shall we begin with me reviewing the show and telling you how it was?
Yeah, go for it.
It was Crystal Palace Bowl, which is a big outdoor, huge space. And they do, Live Nation put on a series of concerts on this venue. So there's been a few throughout the summer. Yeah. So, in our world, the other big one was Offspring and Dropkick Murphys and Pennywise. I think that was the lineup played together.
Just on that though, Jimmy, if they've obviously done 3 dates over here, Crystal Palace Bowl, and the other two have been very similar kind of thing as well, haven't they? They did the Peace Hall in Halifax, which is a big outdoor, beautiful space, and then Cardiff Castle as well. Is Cardiff Castle is that been or is that still to?
No, so yesterday's was the final one.
Cool. So it's interesting, like that they've I suppose it's a big anniversary and big tour for them to go out big with some really cool venues. How's the venue?
Venue was really good and it was interesting. So my friend Charlie came along and helped doing some filming for us as well. Big thank you for that, Charlie.
How did Charlie do on the meeting of Jimmy Eat World? Because I know he's a fan. He managed to hold it together.
He did. I'll come to that in a second. But so what I was saying is that he had been to the Offspring show at that venue, but so they kind of set it up in two ways. I think the Offspring was slightly larger scale, and he was kind of warning me that it was like this big long line, and it wasn't maybe the best layout for an outdoor concert. But this one, as I said, they call it Crystal Palace Bowl, so it's like it feels like it slopes down to the stage. It feels like this bowl. And to give you some context, so this is about 12,500, so about the same size as Four Quarters, that sort of size. Yeah. So it was really good. It was really good, like really easy to navigate, get around, and like we said a few times as well, just like queuing for a drink, going to the toilet, even though this place was sold out, you never had to really wait for anything like that. It was just really well organized. So we were really impressed in that respect. We did go there to interview them as well as watch the show. So maybe we start with that aspect. So you ask how Charlie fared, because he is a big Jimmy Eat World fan. And prior to the interview, like I was feeling a little bit nervous, and and also I'm thinking about, like, because we didn't have Greg with us, I'm thinking about the equipment and stuff. I'm nervous about that working. But Charlie's just got to sit there and film, but he was nervous, and just the prospect of meeting such a big band and spending a bit of time with them, and it was an interesting setup as well, because often you'll go to these shows or these festivals and there's a press area. So I on the way in, I was texting with Stacy at Doorbell, just asking, where's the press area? And she said, oh no, there's no press area. You'll be doing it in their dressing room. So like, I guess maybe Charlie was a bit nervous about that as well, you know.
Right.
But yeah, no, he was very cool. Charlie was very cool, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, obviously we've spoken to Jimmy before, and they're very chill guys, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
they
yeah.
you know they're not really rock and roll kind of types that you would expect.
Not at all. Not at
Like,
all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're really lovely. And this time it was so when we spoke to them, which weirdly was a year ago, it was a year and a day before yesterday that we spoke to them last. So it fell on the exact same weekend, strangely.
oh really? Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, which is very, yeah, I thought that was funny. So when we did it, it was Zach, it was Jim, Zach, and Tom, wasn't it? Whereas this time it was Jim, Tom, and Rick. So
Right.
not
Yeah.
nice to meet Rick this time as an addition.
Cool. And I guess we'll be running that interview in this episode.
We will
So,
be.
I mean, is
We
there
will be.
anything in and around that you want to talk about before we chat about the show?
Let's talk about the show, and then when we set up the interview, maybe
I
I'll
guess I mean
some more
I
stuff.
mean you say it was a big venue and like it was quite easy to get around. Did it feel like it was full? Because I mean that's a big space in the UK for Jimmy Eat World to come and play, which I guess might be kind of helped by Rise Against obviously being on the bill and being
Yeah.
probably bringing a slightly different crowd rather than getting a band that really fits right in the mix with Jimmy, that
Yeah,
where
yeah,
your
yeah.
fans might be sharing that enthusiasm for the band. They probably pull a few from different zones. Do you know what I mean?
I do, and it's possible that that did happen because Rise Against did have quite a long set, so like you could feasibly have gone there specifically for them, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fair play to Jimmy. They're a band that have always been a kind of constant over the years, haven't they? They've never really kind of gone away. They're always been releasing great music.
Yeah, and in terms of like watching the set, so the opener was a singer called Som, who I wasn't familiar with, and very different vibe, bit more of an indie vibe. But she was cool. She brought out Jim Adkins for a song. Like I think he's done stuff with her before, which is probably why she was on these shows. But yeah,
Okay.
she was cool. She played for about half an hour, and then we missed the start of the Get Up Kids
Oh, Chris, how could
I
you?
because our interview was
That's fair
at that time, so we were not about to say to Jimmy Eat World, no, actually, we want to watch the Get Up Kids, so give us another time, please.
uh,
We saw a good portion of their set though. I like the Get Up Kids. A bit disappointed if I'm honest. It was the sound. The sound wasn't great for them,
right.
and like that. I mean, that became more apparent as soon as Rise Against took the stage because it was just night and day the difference in quality of how it sounded,
Right.
which is surprising for a band on the Get Up Kids level. So
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing the performance at all, but it was just let down by that. It just
Did
sounded like a fuzzy mess in bits, I thought a bit, you know.
I assume you missed I'm Alone, Dotty? They usually open with that, don't they?
Yeah,
I love that track.
yeah, we would have missed like the first 20 minutes at least of them. But I saw some classics. I saw what's the song from 4 Minute Mile about Amy? Oh, Amy.
Don't Hate Me.
Yeah.
I
I
think
saw
the
that.
song is called Don't Hate Me, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was good. I saw Holiday. I saw, lots of
Cool.
songs I like from Something to Write Home About. From what I saw, it was a good set list and they were good, but I just didn't think the sound was as good as it could have been.
Okay, fair. Rise Against then. I mean,
Rise.
they're not really in our sight, really, are they generally? But I don't mind a few Rise Against tracks.
Yeah, I've gone through phases of like really loving them and then like not really paying attention to an album. So I'm never consistently a fan. I probably hadn't seen them since maybe 2014. It's been ages, but I was really impressed because it sounded so big and it was just, as I say, so different from the Get Off Kids. Like just sounded so much better.
Right.
And Rise Against are one of those bands because they've been around so long. It's just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that song. Forgot about that song. And they're just so many great tunes that sounded huge. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and then I guess Jimmy. Obviously, we saw Jimmy at in Pittsburgh last year, and
Yeah,
I mean, one thing that struck me was just how fucking tight they were. They were
yeah,
like, it was literally like listening to them on record. Like they were
yeah,
just so like immaculate live. I mean,
yeah.
is that same again?
Oh, absolutely. And it was cool the way. So I had watched their Warped Tour set on YouTube from a couple of weeks ago, which I really enjoyed. But like, so Warped Tour, I guess, obviously they had less time, so they went straight into Bleed American and then played some songs at the end. Whereas on these shows, they've been playing some other random songs to start with. So like, I think the second song was Blister, for example, or maybe the third song was Blister. So it did a couple of songs like that, and then maybe 4 songs in, it just, and they kind of shifted the stage dynamics for like Bleed American to start. Like the extra musician came in, and like the proper pyro and lights came out, and it was like elevated for when the record started, which I thought was a really nice touch.
And they did it front to back, did they?
Yeah. Front to back, and then predictably at the end played another few songs from their other records. Really enjoyed it. Initially, Doorbell, the PR firm, were very kindly going to give us guest lists for the show, and I thought I was initially just going there to watch them, which I was excited about. So that in itself would have been cool, but obviously getting to spend some time with them as well was amazing.
Yeah, I bet it was a nice moment to come out of that interview, after a bit of like anxiousness and like
it was
issues with the potential issues with the recording, to come out of that and like just be able to go and watch them and have a beer.
Exactly.
It's nice moment.
Yeah. I mean, I'm often like that at these festivals and shows. It's like, I'll not have a beer until like the interview's done and stuff, and then it makes you appreciate that beer all the more.
Yeah. Did any of my questions make the cut?
Yes.
Okay.
Listeners will hear that soon, but I think might have used all of your questions.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay.
And it is the case because we only had 10 minutes with them, so you're kind of aware of the time going. So I did drop a few questions as it went on. You have to kind of make those judgments, don't you? But I'm pretty sure your ones made the cut.
Good. Thanks. And
I will say, so I mean, you'd have to be a wasting time like Uber fan to be aware of this, but like maybe if you're a regular listener, you'll notice, like, because I thought, with my wife being Indian heritage, my love of Indian food, like I am a bit snotty when Americans come over and like talk about, there's a chain restaurant called Dishoom, which is fine, but it's like, that's not what Indian food's about. So every now and then,
Paul Chowdhury over here.
Exactly.
Paul Chowdhury scratch now.
Exactly. So every now and then we will have an American guest that references Dishoom, and normally I'll politely call them out, like I did. Well, he's not American, but I remember doing that with Kid Bookie, for example. But there's a bit where Jim talks about Dishoom, and I'm just like, I'm not disrespecting him by saying, so you'll kind of hear my reaction to that, and like, just want to give listeners the heads up. That,
do you want to tell Jim how you feel about Dishoom right now?
Yeah, so Jim, if you're listening to this, like, so Dishoom is cool, but like, so I was thinking after the interview, what I should have said was like, Dishoom's fine, but like, there's several areas where the Indian food is top notch. So an area I know where it's great is Northwest London, Harrow, Rayners Lane, areas like that. So next time Jimmy Eat World's in the UK, we'll do a food crawl, wasting time, and Jimmy Eat World food crawl on us. Open invitation, so we'll do that.
Okay, Doorbell PR, make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, should we get into this interview, and then maybe at the end we can do a little bit of a Bleed American, like from our own eyes?
Okay, yeah. So as I said before, I spoke to Jim, Tom, and Rick from the legendary band that is Jimmy Eat World. So here's the interview. Okay, so I am here with 3 of Jimmy Eat World. How's it going, guys?
Hello, it's going great.
It's good to see you guys in person. We just referenced that we did do a Zoom interview last year, so it's thanks so much for giving us some time today. And this is right ahead of like one of your biggest London headline shows. How are you feeling? Excited? Nervous? You guys get nervous at this point?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
a little nervous.
A little bit, it's like you always get a little bit.
Yeah. Does doing a show like this, does it still mean a lot to you at this point in your career, like when you hit a milestone like this?
If it doesn't, you need to slap us and tell us to sit down.
And also, I noticed, like a couple of months ago, The Guardian did that feature on you, which
that was crazy.
That was good coverage in itself. But obviously, you did the photo swipe thing, so it was like the same pose from 25 years ago, and then you guys today. But I was thinking like you look, and I'm not just saying this because we're here now, but you're looking better now than then. Has anyone else said that?
No.
Well, there we go. Approaching this age
I think,
of life.
Yeah, I think like we've done okay as years have gone by. I don't know about better, different. Tom, you look more mature.
You look good.
You look wise. More wise, I guess.
So it's been 25 years since Bleed American. You've been doing this run of shows, replaying, going through the record. Is there anything about the record that you kind of appreciate now that you didn't really at the time?
It's interesting performing it in the album sequence because it's not how we would structure like the energy of like a regular the arc of a regular set list.
Yeah.
But it seems to really work that way.
It's interesting.
You know, I mean, people, and maybe just because the people coming out are obviously familiar with it.
Yeah,
it has a little bit to do with it,
right?
But it works. You know, we were like, oh man, when we were at the very first time we were thinking about performing this as an album, we're like, well, it's backloaded with more mellow songs. What if we played it in reverse? That sort of makes sense, you know. It's like ease into things, and then like it ends on like, you know, the rock things, and it's like, oh, that's ridiculous. Let's just play it in order. People can deal with it.
Yeah, and then obviously can finish on some other songs at the end of the set. Just wanted to ask, like, very briefly about "Hear You Me," which is obviously about a very moving topic. You've been playing that song for years. You know, like when I listen to that song now, it's still like well up often. But like when you're performing that on stage, do you ever have moments where it gets you?
It's you are forced to reckon with what you're doing on stage in a way, like connect with it in some, you know, up to a point, because you still have to remember to play it well. But I think like for me, it's you the feedback from the people you're performing for. Yeah. You know, that's different all the time, and it's you do feel like people have taken that song in particular and really built their own, you know, special world with it. Because you know, if you've taken "Hear You Me" and made it like your own, it's because there's a pretty major event you've attached it to, and like, you know, that's you can feel that. Yeah. And it's the only way I can describe is it's heavy.
Yeah, makes sense. Is there a song on the record that you're enjoying on this run playing? Like, is there one that jumps out for you guys?
Maybe the more mellow songs, because we just we haven't thrown them in sets all that often for that reason that like, you know, there's an arc to how we like to structure a show, and there's only so much space for the really mellow songs.
Of course. If you could gift Bleed American to another band, like imagine they wrote it with their sound, and anyone that springs to mind who you think would?
Weird Al, maybe?
Yeah, Weird Al.
Like how you came straight to that.
I can
see what Weird Al would do with their album.
Yeah, that
he would do a polka. He would do a polka medley of the whole thing. Like, it'd be like 5 minutes, and you get the record in polka form.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Last time I spoke to you guys, we touched on new music a little bit. Is that coming along?
We're still a fan of new music.
Yeah. Jimmy Eat World new music. I should
we're still working on stuff.
Nice. Okay. Well, we'll watch this space still. Obviously got Rise Against Get Up Kids. I assume you've played with those guys many times at this point in your career.
I'd say so. Yeah.
But like, who are the artists that jump to mind when someone says who are Jimmy Eat World's best friends? Who are your favorite people out in the musical world?
It's gonna be tough because it's gonna really bum out.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, we don't want to offend people.
We have some. I think like you always. I mean, it's not like the best, but because that's hard to really quantify. But like, I think there was something special about like the beginnings of the band when we were starting to like do this for the first time, and like playing horrible gigs with, you know, in the same boat with other bands playing horrible gigs, you know, so I remember like the Promise Ring would be a band that we, you know, and then maybe some of the San Diego people like No Knife and Jay June.
Friends with them to this day.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just a couple of things on the UK, since we're a UK podcast and we're in the UK, and you guys have been here so many times. Favorite UK foods? Anything jump out?
Curry.
Any particular cities that do that best?
Any city?
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
curry?
So, for example, like for me, the best Indian foods in northwest London.
I think there's something about the Kensington Dishoom.
Okay.
Compared to the other ones.
That one.
I just got to eat at Gymkhana for the first time. So
okay. That's highbrow. How was that?
I weaseled my way into a lunch booking for that. It was wild.
What'd you have?
I had butter chicken and lamb shank and some spicy prawn thing, some spicy fried chicken thing. Like it's just the bread basket.
Nice. What about favorite UK TV show? Anything jump out?
Young Ones.
Oh, old school.
Original Countdown.
Richard Whiteley era.
Carol Vorderman. All the way.
What about you, Tom? Anything?
Probably the original Office.
Stone cold classic, isn't it? So obviously, 30 plus years into your career, you've, I assume, done most things anyone can dream of. But is there anything that's still on the Jimmy Eat World bucket list?
I think playing new places is always a great goal of ours. So maybe Iceland, India.
Yeah.
Those are two spots would be amazing to go.
Yeah. Bring our music to new places and see new cultures, and it's kind of what drove us in the very early days to get out of our little town. And the map just keeps growing.
Amazing. Final question. My friend Sophie last night, when I asked if you had any questions for Jimmy Eat World, she said, "What is your favorite movie that has a Jimmy Eat World song on the soundtrack?" Her shout was Cinderella Story. I think you can do. I think you can do better than that.
Cinderella Story, like.
What, Never Been Kissed? Maybe?
Yeah, probably Never Been Kissed for me.
Was that Lucky Denver Mint that was on that?
That's
Yeah, that one is kind of special because it was the first movie we had a song in, and it helped us get a release date for Clarity, the album, at the time.
It's true. Like Clarity might not have seen the light of day if it weren't for Drew Barrymore.
There we go.
So thank you, Drew.
On that note, I think we can wrap this up, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks a
lot.
lot.
Really appreciate it. So that was my chat with the guys in Jimmy Eat World. Again, big thank you to them for their time, and huge thank you to Joe and Stacy at Doorbell for being so kind to us and facilitating that.
Yeah, and congratulations, Jimmy Eat World, on your 25 years of Bleed American.
Incredible. Yeah, I mean, I remember when the record came out, and I remember Kerrang did a review of it, and they hadn't really covered Jimmy Eat World much before then, but they said, I think they've even at that point called them veteran emo guys and said they've made a classic, 5 stars.
Yeah.
And I mean, they called it, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember it being like an album at like house parties when I was like 17,
right.
16. I actually covered the middle with my like high school band with you'll remember Katie Raven and you and
yeah. Nice.
Did it in assembly.
I mean,
not quite the Prince cover that it
right.
You get the Prince treatment, but
this one will still make the top 5 covers of it.
It just goes to show, like how influential that they've been over the years. And I mean, thinking about Bleed American, then what would you say is your kind of top 3?
Top 3, I like that. Okay, I think I would say, and like it's difficult. So for example, I'm not going to include the middle, even though maybe that should be in there because obviously it's such a nice.
The middle's not in my top 3 either.
Well, yeah, maybe it's just because we've heard it too much. But I don't. But I think, Nick, if when I first heard the album, I'd still have these top 3. So I'm going to go Authority Song.
Oh, that's one of mine.
Yeah.
Are we just going to be fully aligned here?
Well, let's see. So So these are in. With the last one being like my favorites. I'm doing them in order like that. So 3rd place, Authority Song. 2nd place, Praise Chorus. First is, and this might be my favorite song of all time by anyone, not just by Jimmy Eat World, but it is If You Don't.
Yes, that's in mine as well.
Okay, let's hear yours real quick, and then
it's an Authority song.
Yeah,
just that, just the intro just gets you every time. If you don't, and then I think it's Sweetness for me.
Yeah, Sweetness is great.
Hits, like that song just hits and hits and hits. Like
it's quintessential Jimmy Eat World. Yeah,
brilliant track. Is Bleeding American? Would you say it was your favorite Jimmy record?
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. And I just want to say on If You Don't, I just think that's just something about that song. And I was going to say this in the interview, but didn't really have a chance. But like people might know that they've been doing this YouTube series where they're in the studio with Mark Trombino, like breaking down the songs. And on the If You Don't one, I love that Trombino said that was like his pet, his favorite one. And he put a little bit more magic into that. And like, I feel you can really hear it. Because I remember getting that album, summer of 2001, listening through, and that song straight away jumped out to me, and I still love it so much to this day.
Yeah, no, it's a great track. It's a great track. Not my favorite record though. Clarity's. I think Clarity's. Still...
Oh, you still got Clarity over it?
Yeah,
would you?
Yeah, I love Clarity. Like as a record.
Yeah.
But no, such a big album. For me, back in those late teens, early 20s, and slightly jealous you got to experience all that this weekend. But hey ho.
Yeah, I know. Shame to not do it with you, but yeah, I'm glad we got to do it.
And I'm glad Charlie held it together for you as well.
Exactly.
And we need to buy the new GGI microphones as well.
Yeah. That's a separate thing, but yeah. Very true. Okay, should we this mini episode? Should we leave it there? And we'll see, listeners. We'll see you very soon. We've got another big episode, hopefully coming this week as well. So look out for that.